Shoot.
Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 450 divide you in half.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to our Oscar Live After the Show live stream. I'm here with RB3. My name is Andres. We're going to be breaking down the Oscars, all about what happened, who won, who should have won, all that good stuff. We're here to break it down. Rob, I want to get your thoughts, first off, on the entire show. Give me your thoughts. We've seen so many Oscars in the past, so I want to know, what did you think of this year's Oscars?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Oscars in the past. You're right. It's we already know what the Academy is going to do. We already know what the Academy has been about. If you saw the little prediction video I put in the beginning of the beginning of the show, I called at the beginning, Jennifer, what's her face? Jamie Lee Curtis was going to win Best Supporting Actress over Angela Bassett. When in fact, also, there was actually no black people who won this year in major categories besides Ruth Carter for costume design. But otherwise, yeah, the big people who we thought, Angela Bassett didn't win it. Rihanna didn't win Best Original Song. So yes, it's tough, but good to see things like Everything Everywhere getting having the success that it had. But yeah.
Yeah, let's start with that, man. Let's go to the Best Picture winner, Everything Everywhere All at Once. A lot of people were predicting this. Obviously, it's kind of easy to predict when it's won so many awards.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's worthy in that sense because of everything that it's been building up to, but also the other awards that it won, Best Director as well, Screenplay as well. So I feel like this is a pretty worthy winner for a Best Picture. How did you feel about the Best Picture win?
Yeah, I felt good about it. I'm glad that the Academy had that, had the foresight to not the foresight, but they understood what the people wanted. They understood that this was a popular movie. It was also our house movie. So it appealed to both the critics, to, the highbrow, want to be fake, intelligent people, but also to the general public as well. So they wanted a winner that was going to reflect that. I think that's why they nominated all the big things that they nominated. That's why they nominated Avatar. That's why they nominated Top Gun, even though those movies didn't win anything. They just wanted to be able to show the trailers of them, like show the package clips of them and stuff of that nature. So yeah, I mean, they did their job. They did their job well. So, but I think it was still a boring show, man. Still super boring.
What do you think can make it better though, man? What's the solution?
Everybody keeps talking about it on Twitter, but no host. Let's just go no host. Hostless, man. Let's go hostless. They did that 1 year, I feel like, after they fired Kevin Hart because of that situation, and just had a bunch of presenters go up. Do that. I don't need 14 minutes of Jimmy Kimmel giving this bad stand up with like one or two good jokes, hogging up time. Like, and the musical performances are fun too, so that they were cool, but otherwise just wasn't that like it just like even like after like 2 hours, my mom went upstairs. Like, I'm bored. I'm done. I don't want to watch this anymore.
Here's my thing, man. We've always had this conversation. We've had it for years. And I feel like every year it's the same thing. Oscar viewership is down. We need to change it up. They change it up. They try something new. We hear about what they're going to do. They're going to cut out categories to make it quicker. Everyone hated that, so they jumped down their neck and they said, all right, we're not going to do that. So now the solution is to keep it the same and keep it extremely long, but also at the same time cutting off people who are giving their speeches,
right?
Even though their speeches are shorter than other people's speeches, just because they won Best Documentary Short or Best Live Action Short or Animated Short or whatever category they think is not good enough to be there. And my thing is this: there's so many different solutions, but I have a quick one that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Make the presenters give the quickest copy ever. Make it quick copy. I don't need to hear about what these presenters think about editing. And it's like editing has been around since forever. You had to cut the film back in this. Just tell me, here are the nominees for best editing. And you saved 45 seconds. And to me, that's better than just having the presenters read this boring ass copy and tell you what editing is, when everyone knows what it is, and we just want to see who's the winner, and that'll give you 45 more seconds for the speaker to speak more, and for them to be properly recognized for the art that they're currently working in, which is just as important as a Best Actor one. That's just one solution I got, and to me, cut out the bits.
Yes.
I don't think... I mean, I don't know anyone who cares about the bits. I'm sure they have surveys and just polls after polls of people saying they love bits and that's why they keep it in. I'm sure they've done so many of those polls, but at the same time, I just feel like it doesn't work. It'll save you so much time, and you can respect the winner of certain films. I felt so bad. One specifically that I felt bad for was it Water for Elephants?
Yeah,
the documentary short.
With the Indian. People, they got straight.
Let her speak. Like,
Yeah.
The first girl took 30 seconds. Give her another 30. Give the second girl 30. I just feel like there's so many solutions there, and it's so awkward and it's so weird for the crowd and for everyone else there. I don't know, RB3. That's just one solution for me. I don't know what you think, man.
Well, first of all, let me know if you which out in the comments. I know people are saying the sound sounded kind of echoey. I think I did fix those problems, y'all. So let me know if the sound is sounding any better. Yeah, sorry. What was your my bad? What was your question?
What other solution you got, man, to make things better besides no host?
Yeah, I mean, they well, yeah, I think no host. I think just going, just make it a celebration of movies. Like they kind of lean. I think they leaned better in this direction, like this time than I think previous years where they had, some fun transitions in between, the categories. Like, okay, I know you're just saying like cut down on the copy, like, when they presented the things. But I thought, that little segment of cinematography they did was kind of cute when they did the Jonathan Majors and
With
Michael B. Jordan, and they had the camera showing like the different angles and stuff. That's nice. If they were able to conceal that segment down to like a 30-second bit and do more things like that as like transition little moments, that's great. That makes it entertaining. Make it like more of a like I think they play a lot to the people in the room, to the stuffy, white people in the room, but they don't play enough to the people watching at home. I think they need to think of it as like a televised event. So play to the TV aspect of it. We talked about visual effects. Let's see some like live visual effects. We see it all the time in the NFL. We see it all the time in like the NBA games, like
NBA.
Yeah. So like, why don't we just see some cool stuff like that? Like really make it a movie show. Don't make it just like some stuffy award show.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because there's obviously it's so easy to talk, but it's so tough to actually produce this kind of show.
Yeah,
because
true.
there's so many factors to consider. Like I always put myself in that position as someone who considers himself to be a producer. I feel like I can produce, but then even I'm like, yo, the Oscars is hard. Right. That's hard, man. Because you got to entertain, you got to keep things moving. All that stuff is tough. But to me, I will never find it as a viewer. I'd rather be slightly bored. I'd rather be slightly less laughing than to feel awful for people who get cut off for their speeches and who are so excited in the midst of crying and are about to thank their mom and they get cut off and told to keep moving. Like that to me feels worse as a viewer than not laughing at certain jokes or not getting at whatever bit they have planned. That to me, I prefer to keep things moving and to let people talk than to have just a horrifying, awkward moment that makes everyone uncomfortable, even the viewers. It doesn't matter who it is. So for me, that's something that I would personally do. But let's get to the winners, RB3, because I know this is what people want to talk about. Let's start with the best acting categories. Obviously, Michelle Yeoh is the big one. Brendan Fraser for The Whale as well. How'd you feel about the best actor one? Specifically, let's start with Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, I was real, I'm real gassed on Michelle Yeoh winning. I think we talked about before the other, like what's the possibility of seeing, the other people win, seeing, Angela Rice-Barrows win. That's why I kind of called, just based on how the direction of, momentum was going. But yeah, I'm glad Michelle Yeoh won. She definitely deserved to win. Her speech was motivational. Everybody from Everything Everywhere, had a motivational speech. So it was good seeing that. It was also good seeing, best actor was, to be honest, these were all like kind of expected. Like those two, Brendan Fraser winning for The Whale, that was kind of expected. Especially when they gave The Whale best makeup. I like The Whale personally, but I thought there was a lot of other better, makeup movies. I felt like this year in terms of, Wakanda Forever, even Elvis. But that being said, though, yeah. I'm glad that Brendan Fraser, he's a legend. I mean, Mummy, you know what I mean? That's all you got to say. He's been that guy for a minute. So I'm glad to see him get that shine.
Yeah, I mean, you coming off The Mummy, he's always going to be a legend. Same with let's go to supporting Ke Kwan as well for winning for best supporting actor. I feel like that's another great moment in the show. How'd you feel about his win and his speech?
He gave a great speech. I mean, he like definitely moved me to tears, like especially when talking about, being somebody, came right off the boat, didn't really think he had any ambition, any kind of real hopes, doing things in Hollywood. He took that long break. His wife was motivating him to keep going. Yeah, that's all the stuff you want to hear. That's all the stuff we've been hearing all throughout the award season. It was breathtaking hearing him do that again. And I'm glad that he's getting this reemergence. Shout out USC. He's a USC School of Cinematic Arts graduate. He spent some time, even when he couldn't make the acting thing work, he stepped behind the camera and did a little bit of that too. So good seeing that too. I'm just really happy to see, especially his OG movie was Temple of Doom, right, with Spielberg, and he got to see Spielberg there at the Oscars where they've been seeing each other all award season. But it's just good seeing, having that full moment in front of everybody.
Yeah, obviously, it's an incredible moment. Everyone was happy for him. Everyone was feeling excited for him. I want to jump to international feature just because All Quiet on the Western Front, we were texting about it a little bit during the show, RB3, but it really took off with cinematography, with quite a few awards that it won. Obviously, Best International Feature was a main one. But how do you feel about this movie? Because I still feel like it's underwatched. I don't know if I'm tripping there, but I don't know that many people personally that saw the movie.
Right.
But how do you feel about this movie being elevated now during the show?
Yeah, right. Well, so all those who have saw me who have been following the channel. I've been doing we've been doing reviews of all the Best Picture nominees going up until today. And honestly, I didn't get to both All Quiet on the Western Front. I also didn't get to Women Talking. I did watch both the films. I was watching All Quiet today because I felt like it was going to win some awards too. It's all right. It's a war movie. It's literally just a war movie. It's the most basic, plain war movie of all time. I think the only difference is that they're speaking German. You know what I mean? It's not something super, super special. And again, that's another reason why it feels like such a missed opportunity to not include something like The Woman King, because that's the only war combat action movie that truly felt different and unique and original this year. But okay, I'm going on a tangent. In terms of Best International Films, yeah, it was the clear front runner because it had already won cinematography, it had already won some other big awards, so it was already heading in that direction. But yeah, it's whatever. It's a whatever movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't give my opinion on it. I definitely want to see it. I can't lie. The Oscars are partly meant to be advertisement for movies, right? And I feel like this was a good advertisement for the film because all viewers see is a war movie, World War I, high quality filmmaking when it comes to the cinematography, high quality acting when it comes to that young actor. That's good enough to get a lot of people to be like, I'm gonna see this movie. So I feel like that's a really good thing that the Oscars can provide. I want to jump to something that also takes up a lot of time, RB3, and I've heard a lot of takes on it, and that is performances. Do you like musical numbers at the Oscars?
I do.
We've talked about this.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have, right?
Yes, we have. And, in some years I've probably said I didn't, but I actually do. I actually do think this the one spotlight of brightness and this gloomy, just talking heads of an award show. So I actually think that having musical numbers are a decent break. I do think they just have to get consistent with everybody should perform or nobody should perform. Don't just give me three of the songs and then two of them I have no idea what they sound like or anything like that. You know what I mean? Obviously I understand. I think they did 4 out of 5 of them this year, so I can't be too mad at that. But who is Diane Warwick? Why is she nominated every single year? What is this? Otherwise, yeah. Shout out to RRR again, dope performance. Even the performance was so cool that my moms who hadn't seen RRR and was rooting for Rihanna, she even was like, "Oh, that was a cool thing." I saw them, she saw the TikTok of them dancing and stuff. So again, it's the crowd pleasing nature of it. And I'm also glad to see a Bollywood film get that kind of recognition because Bollywood traditionally has those songs and have those and have all those things. So I'm glad to see that succeed. But otherwise, it's all right.
I mean, Gaga showed up.
Gaga,
super close-up shot.
Yeah, Gaga was cool, but I didn't need the whole fake emotional oh, I wrote this from a very deep personal place.
I mean, if she's being real, bro. I mean, she had like no makeup on. She was wearing like what I would wear.
Bro, it's Top Gun. It's Top Gun. What are people talking about? That's true. What are we talking about?
But that's what Best Original Song has become, right? It's become, let's get a really cool artist to write a really personal song, even though this movie's about planes. Like, it has nothing to do with like what is going on in the film or even during a scene in the film that comes after the credits.
Right.
So Gaga has the time to write a song. Whether it's good or not is up to anyone who listens to it. It doesn't matter. Is it relevant to the movie? That's why I wanted Con la Brisa to be in it. But at least Lift Me Up is in during the credits while we're still waiting for another scene. And it's still communicating a message, obviously, about Chadwick Boseman's passing and about T'Challa. So I feel like it's a slightly more relevant. So that's why I wanted Lift Me Up to win. And I wanted, obviously, like you said in Twitter, Ryan Coogler gets a chance to win. And I feel like Rihanna gets a chance to win, but also Thames.
Right.
I'm like the biggest Thames fan. If you know anything about me, I want Thames to win so bad just because it gives an opportunity for her to shine a little bit more as well. So they got to fix Best Original Song. I don't know how, but they just got to fix this category. That's just how I feel. I just feel like they pick songs that they feel like would be cool. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you on that. I mean, so and going to the chat real quick, I see Flick and Real say RRR is my favorite film of the year, but it could have been my third pick for best song. That's the same thing I feel like too. Like like in terms of like RRR, I really love the movie. It was number 4 on my top 10 of the year list too. But yeah, I just personally preferred the Rihanna song, and I think that I just think it meant more. Like it, you know, it played it you know, it didn't just play like during the credits. It played also during Letitia Wright's like performance too, when she was like crying on the beach and things of that nature. I just thought it was a beautiful music and movie marriage moment. Like you said, a tribute to Chadwick, which they made very clear. Also, just seeing a pregnant Rihanna winning an Oscar just would have been super cool too. But again, they went with who they went with. All shout outs to RR again, Bollywood love, more Bollywood love. We need to see more Bollywood love. Yeah, it's funny too. J Ho was the other Indian kind of inspired song that won in by 2008 from one of my favorite movies, Slumdog Millionaire. But that's like an American production. So this is the first time we're seeing an Indian production win for that award.
Yeah, or a British production. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it's definitely, it's a different vibe for sure, even though that was a very popular song as well during that time. I remember that time. Was that 2009? That was 2009, right? Or 2010? But kind of going off music too.
2008, 2009, yeah.
There you go. I feel like Score was another one that was kind of just like a,
which one? For All Quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, I can't lie. I've never seen Babylon. I swear. But I've listened to 1 minute of that song, and I'm like, bro, Babylon.
Yes.
Even I was like, bro, I can't lie. You can't deny it, whether you hate that movie or not, or it made a lot of money or it didn't. That's a good ass score. But also, here's my rant, my tiny little rant. Ludwig Göransson. Yeah. They really do feel like, oh, we already gave him the Oscar for Black Panther. He's not worthy for Wakanda Forever. Watch Voices Rising on Disney Plus. Ludwig goes nuts. Like, he went ham times 10 on Wakanda Forever, and he doesn't get an Oscar nomination or any love from any award show. And I thought that was the best score of the year by far, even though I love the Nope score. I love the Batman score. Yeah, these scores were awesome. I still feel like freaking Wakanda Forever was just so bizarre and weird and different instruments that didn't exist. Like, that's cool to me, and that's original. Yeah. But Babylon.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, so, and then that's what, you know, we talked about during the nomination video. It's like both Babylon and Wakanda Forever had the integration of the Latin music, Latin, heritage music, particularly with, with Wakanda Forever being the Telecom people and things of that nature. So that would, it would have been nice to recognize that. And that's why I thought they would have given Ludwig also the Oscar for Best Original Song too, because he would have won that too. So it's like, I thought they would have at least given him a little shine for that. But no, Babylon, I love, Babylon's such a bad movie. Like, The first hour and 30, I went to Paramount Plus and rewatched it. First hour and 37 first hour and 37 minutes, brilliant. Almost like a masterpiece. You know, almost like Chazelle was like cooking on Whiplash level. And then the rest of it is just not good. It's just bad. Just flat out bad. So that's why I can never give it like any kind of praise. But that score is remarkable. And I thought for sure that score was going to win because Justin Ludwig's or whatever his, not Justin
Justin Hurwitz,
that's it. Yeah Ludwig is our guy from Black Panther, but he only does like one score every 5 years. Like he only really does scores when Damien Chazelle does movies. So I thought, oh, okay, they're gonna hand him the award because we barely see him as a composer as is. But yeah, nah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough, man. But obviously for me, score, it's probably the most, I don't know, it's probably the most subjective one. But at the same time, there's to me some clear front runners that people try to avoid just because, I don't know, it's not cool or it's not trendy or it's not something they want to acknowledge as much as some other ones. So I feel like that's a different vibe altogether. But let's jump to some of the smaller categories that we like, RB3, starting with...
Oh, sorry, I was going to say real quick, I see our boy John, Real Talk Film Society in the chat. He said, listen, when Queen Mother Angela lost her turn to ESPN to watch the Knicks slap on the Lakers, listen, bro, that's all. The only reason why the Lakers won that game, the only reason why the Lakers lost that game is because... the only reason why we lost that game is because we were trying to reclaim. We've been on a hot streak. We've been on a 8-game winning streak lately. We have to take a break. We got to cool off at some point. They were double teaming, triple teaming AD, and I was too busy watching the Oscars to be out there with my guys, to be there with my team. I couldn't support. So without my support, how are they going to win anyway? So my bad. I digress on that.
Anyway, let's move on to best makeup. Obviously, we talked about this a little bit. You mentioned it, RB3, with The Whale. Can we get over this, man? Can we stop? Like, can we stop doing? I'm so done. I'm so done with the Oscars being like, he turned into an old man. He turned into a big man. He turned into a small man, and it's like. I don't care. Wakanda Forever was clearly better. The Batman was 10 times better. Like, the Batman was incredible. Yeah. Everyone in that film had a distinct look, and the makeup and hairstyling was so clear and upfront. It's just, like you said, even Elvis, bro. Even Elvis was better than The Whale, in my opinion. Like, you made him look fat. Right. That's one dude. That's one homie you made look real fat.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no expansion on it. To me, it's an entire makeup team dedicated to one person. What do you think, man? Am I tripping?
No, that's the same thing I thought too. It's like it's just one big piece. Like that's like whereas like Wakanda, it's a lot of pieces. You know, we talked about previously in previous years. They walked over freaking both the year that Star Trek came out and the year that Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and they walked over both of those for what was it like? The movie where Tom Hanks was like super old or something, like a man named Otis. Yeah. It was like some super like
the Star Trek Beyond one.
Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, exactly. It's like they literally just walked.
They gave it to Joker. They gave it to Suicide Squad, I think.
Yeah, or Suicide Squad. Yeah. Well, see, at least Suicide Squad, I could see that one is like out there. You know, I can see it, but I don't know. You know. The Well, again, it's a good. I thought it was a good movie, but it is just one piece of makeup. I think if they're looking to a good piece of makeup, granted, you know, good seeing Brendan Fraser not actually out there being like 100, you know, like 700 pounds or whatever. But yeah, I do wish it was just a little bit more.
Yeah, to me, man, I feel like just Wakanda Forever just did so much more, and I feel like people ignore it just because. I don't know why people ignore it. I think people are obsessed with that, like you said, that one piece kind of mentality where it's like if you make one person look old, that's so much more incredible than doing phenomenal makeup throughout your entire massive film, which people think is easy for some reason. It's not.
Right.
It's still very difficult. I'm passionate about it, man. You know me. I'm passionate about this and VFX obviously, Way of Water. That's a given, right? Yeah, the only other one I thought could have won. I'm sorry. What was the other ones that were nominated for visual effects?
Was All Quiet nominated for best visual effects?
I think so. Sure. So best visual effects, best sound. I'm skipping that. Visual effects. Yeah, the Batman, Black Panther, Top Gun.
Batman.
The only other one I thought of was honestly Batman. I thought Batman's VFX team was pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
And you can tell they went ham.
The flood.
But Way of Water is just
The flooding at the end was the only part that felt a little like cheap to me with the not cheap, but the only part that didn't like fully sell me into Batman. But the everything from Way of Water. Shout out, I talked to those guys, all like the whole team, like literally 6 people. That's just not the whole team, but I talked to like 6 people from the Way of the Water visual effects team. Do Geeks of Color. So if y'all want to read that article, check that out on the Geeks of Color website. It's also on my Twitter. I just tweeted that. But man, all the steps that they had to take. I mean, I'm going to like briefly kind of like say some of the stuff. They developed like an AI deep learning software to like learn the actors' facial movements and muscle movements. They created an eyeline LED monitor technology to where they would like, for the scenes where like Spider was interacting with Courage, for example, he was not just looking like at some tennis ball. He was actually looking at video of Courage talking back to him. There's like, they literally redesigned their whole facial performance capture technology to where instead of just doing like one camera, it's 2 cameras. And instead of just like a scan in real time, they do like multiple scans. So it's kind of crazy. Like everything that they did, it's the most visual effects movie of all time. So it's obviously going to win. It
has to win.
Yeah. I mean, it was clear. I was a little upset that the film didn't win Best Production Design, because they gave that one to All Quiet on the Western Front. And I'm like, come on, dog. Like, what's the production design in that? It's just a war movie.
A lie.
Yeah.
No, it's a lie, bro. I disagree there. That's a lie.
I mean, yeah, but there's a lot in Avatar, though.
A ton.
But to me, it's a lot in Avatar, too, though. It's like designing all these, the Meccaean villages, the stuff when they're, in human environments. I thought it was a lot. So I would have liked to see in one production design.
Let's get to what the chat is just still talking about because it's the biggest thing in all. Angela Bassett didn't do the thing. Jamie Lee Curtis, like you predicted, RB3.
Listen, man.
Your thoughts on this Jamie Lee Curtis? Someone said this was the Macklemore Grammy win. I retweeted that.
Right.
That's kind of spot on, bro. There's no other takes. I think that's the only take. What do you think?
Yeah, it's tragic because it's literally the worst, like the worst of the nominees that ended up winning. Like why was it? And I love, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't love her. Let me not say that. She's a good actress. She's a fine actress. She's been in, some good movies over the years. She did the Halloween. That was a little, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. But she's fine. She's okay. Why does she feel like the need to speak on every black issue when she's like an old Jewish woman? I don't understand. I don't know why, but okay, I'm cool with that. She does what she do. She's obviously good. She was good in Everything Everywhere, but literally just out of all I'm not even talking about Angela Bassett just as Angela Bassett. I'm talking about in terms of not every other performance in this category was just flat out better. Like even Hong Chow in The Well was better.
More significant too.
Right, way more significant. Exactly. Angela, she was only in Wakanda Forever for what, like 2 scenes, but those 2 scenes were powerful, amazing scenes. They gave Anthony Hopkins Best Lead Actor back in the 90s for Silence of the Lambs, and he was probably in that movie less than Angela was. And then it's like, yo, if y'all were gonna give anybody from Everything Everywhere, give Stephanie Shu that award. Because she was better and it could benefit her a lot better. But nah, they chose to go the wackest way with it. So
why?
I don't know.
I mean, my thing is like, I don't get it because I saw Everything Everywhere at once. I will never forget seeing that in theaters. Mm-hmm. And I swear, bro, Jamie, I was like, oh, it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, okay, she's kind of like the Karen, like pay your bills. What's going on here? Like, okay, cool. She's that lady. She's crazy. Cool. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anyway, let's go back to freaking Stephanie Shu doing her crazy thing. Let's go back to the crazy grandpa. I didn't care.
She
I mean, if we're gonna nominate her, we might as well nominate Jenny Slate.
Right.
Jenny Slate swinging her dog, bro. Like,
yeah,
it's the same role.
Yeah,
it's the same ass role.
I mean, yeah, literally, Jamie Lee was like the token white in this entire movie.
Yeah.
That's really what it came down to. And honestly, listen, as much as I like Jamie Lee Curtis's movies and her filmography, like, we can't not call out the obvious. She's the Nepo baby. She's the OG Nepo baby. You know what I mean? Her father is literally Tony Curtis, bro. Like the OG, one of the OG movie stars. And, you know, she has like 70-some years. So that's why I ultimately think that's ultimately why it came down to the Oscar win. It's literally people like, oh, Jamie Lee, I know her dad. Like all these 80, 90-year-old.
I know her family.
Yeah. I know her. I know her dad. Oh, I saw Halloween like 40 years ago. I like that movie.
100.
Yeah, that's literally all it came down to. And then, but why do we live in a Hollywood in the system where Angela Bassett is just not afforded that same look, that same opportunity?
I mean, you know why, bro.
I mean,
you know
yeah,
why.
we know. I mean, obviously, we know why, but it's still.
People get mad if you say it, but you know why.
Right. But it's just, you know, it gets more and more disheartening every day, just realizing that she was nominated for What's Love Got to Do with It. She was also people don't talk about. She was the front runner back then, and she won the Golden Globe for that performance back then. People thought she was going to tee up to win the Oscars, and it was like a little bit of a disappointment when she didn't win there. You know, 30 years later, we're back in that same position. It's like, man, that little gif. I don't know if you've been seeing that little gif of like Angela's reaction when they called Jamie Lee Curtis's name. Heartbreaking stuff, man. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, my thing is like it's so clear what it is, but it's so disappointing at the same time because, like you said, this film is a lot about immigrant Asian love, and they gave
the white lady the Oscar
to the angry white lady who wants you to pay your bills, and it's like that's what you took away from it. Like it's the most blah performance win I've seen from supporting in a minute, man, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's so many other performances this year that I can name that are better than hers. It's ridiculous to the point that I really do feel like this was just a giant L, one of the biggest, fattest L's that the Oscars has done. And I really do feel like, I don't know, what changes can be made to stop this kind of stuff, bro? Where Jimmy Kimmel has to be like, "How do you guys see The Woman King? That's actually a good movie too. Should have been nominated." And it's like, yeah, it should have been.
Right. Yeah, he's gonna play lip service to it, but not, you know, again, they don't do anything to actually recognize these movies. I mean, there's I know somebody in the chat, I think it was Philosopher King, said you know, that movie should have got 5 to 6 Oscar nominations. Yeah, again, if I'm looking at these categories, costume design, production design, editing, like all these, this is a great action movie. If this was directed by Mel Gibson, it would have gotten way more acclaim. But because it's directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, who we love as a fan, you know, who we are big fans of here on First Cut, you know, because it's directed by her, for some reason just doesn't get that same love. And we saw it all the way down to that Entertainment Weekly article that came out earlier this week. I'm sure you saw the clip or the little excerpt of it where one of the anonymous Oscar voters is like, why can't the lady director and Angela and Viola Davis just shut up and sit down? They basically tell them to sit down and shut up. Like, you know, just shut up and act. So it's like, so it's like, we already know what the Academy was. That's why when, you know, Snyder tweeted the whole white teal thing, like, he was really just saying the quiet part out loud. That's why I was like, I was calling for all the white people to win, because I'm like, yo, you just saying what all of the real, you know, all of the Hollywood, the quote unquote Hollywood insiders are really talking about behind the scenes. So
I think that's what people need to realize, and I feel like it's such a we live in such a crazy climate nowadays, man, that it's just tough to talk about certain topics and certain conversations. But it's kind of hard to ignore, man, when you see the trailer of The Little Mermaid come out, and you have to remember all the disgusting,
YouTube
vile comments that came towards that little girl who's just performing her role. And it really is so clear that so many people really believe that because she's cast in The Little Mermaid, there is some sort of forced agenda of including Black people and non-white people in films that they shouldn't be included in. And in reality, RB3, we know the truth. It's the opposite. Hollywood is fucking racist, like super fucking racist. And people don't know that because they don't know that the big top dog producers and the big top dog executives are old white MFers who are super fucking racist. Like legitimately
Yeah.
like donate to like the most disgusting kind of people and are super fucking racist. And I think people forget that and they're just like, oh, why you keep talking about it? And it's because it's clear.
It's the truth.
It's clearly there. It's just so frustrating, man. I hate it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nah, it's real. I mean, it's real. I mean, that's how it goes, and it just proves itself more and more every time. But hey, at the end of the day, that's what you can't be surprised by the Academy at this point. Yeah. I do want to just like go to chat real quick because everybody's kind of cooking. It's hilarious. Joseph Ashley said Angela Bassett's reaction hurt my soul. I like Jamie Lee. She was my first time seeing boobies in Trading Places. That's a good one. Yo, have you seen that speaking of James Cameron, we're talking about Way of Water, the one with Jamie Lee and Arnold Schwarzenegger. What's that movie called, man?
Face Off? Not Face Off.
Nah.
Desires? Confessions?
Something. It's a word in the American company.
True Lies.
True Lies.
Shout out to Real Talk.
Real Talk. John, it was good, man. Yo, True Lies. Now that was hot. Now she was super fine in that. She should have won an Oscar for that movie. That was good. I
never seen it, so I don't know.
No, she has a lap dance scene with Arnie in that. That's Fuego. Even Real Talk from Society, Johnny said she literally played a Karen. That's like, yo, why do you an Oscar to a Karen for it? And then Philosopher King said Jamie Lee got cast in Halloween because John Carpenter remembered that her mom was in Psycho. So it's like the OG Nepo baby. Nepo baby stay undefeated. And then we have Tony. Was good, Tony. ATH Media. My bad, I lost it. Jamie Lee Curtis was an SNL character. Literally found a stock image of a funny-looking woman and copied. Shouldn't have even been nominated. Yeah. I agree with that. There's even Dolly De Leon from Triangle of Sadness was even a better performance that should have got recognition. AJ Lancaster said Stephanie Shu deserved the love and attention. Real Talk said Gina Prince Bythewood deserved. Yeah, and also that anonymous voters article pissed him off. That's real. See, I'm telling you, like that anonymous voters article. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. It's not just one.
Right.
That's the majority.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And then, over almost 100 years of the Oscars, and only one black actor has won Best Actress. That's right there. Exactly. I mean, listen, they've been only one black actress winning Best Actress. Thank you, Aisha. Yeah, that's facts. Yo, that's literally that's bars right there. And it's like, again, they didn't even want to put Viola up in that category for Best Lead Actress. They don't want to, we'll keep having that same conversation. But congrats to Jamie Lee, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like that's it, right? I mean, I feel Best Sound was Top Gun, sure.
Yeah, I knew where I was going.
Everything else was the shorts. The animated feature went to Guillermo del Toro.
Good to Guillermo. That was good. It wasn't kind of funny how he's like waiting on the sidelines, like he knew he was gonna win that award. He already knew he was already.
I mean, he won every other one. So
right.
Shout out to. Let's give some shout outs, I guess. Shout out to Turning Red. Shout out to that film. I feel like that's a worthy animated feature that a lot of people didn't see. Right. I feel like a lot of people should see. Shout out to Argentina 1985.
Yes.
Another international feature that a lot of people haven't seen. And people should see. It's on Amazon. You should check that out. And I feel like that's... Oh, yeah. Shout out Women Talking, bro. When they won, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Best adapted.
So glad it wasn't anyone else. Specifically one that I'm not going to name here.
No.
Yeah.
Nah, Top Gun Maverick would have won Best Adapted Screenplay. I would have rioted, bro. I would have rioted. Because there ain't no way you're going to jack the ending of Star Wars and just act like that's cool. That's literally... It makes me mad on a deep level because... And maybe I'm saying too much here, but when you work in like white Hollywood and you just see somebody, you would just see like one of your, quote unquote bosses or like the creative leads or creative directors that watch something on TV or on Euphoria the night before, and then they'll like take that exact thing and then make that concept on, the thing like the next day. I'm like, what? Like, is that really how it's supposed to go? So yeah, I don't know. So that's just me. That's like, again, maybe I'm hating when I say that, but that's just why I like whenever I see unoriginality, it just like kind of throws a little wrench in there. And honestly, kind of going back to that best original score conversation, maybe what hurt Babylon just a little bit. I don't know if you didn't watch Babylon, or you didn't listen to the whole score. The score also takes parts from the La La Land score. So I think part of the reason why they didn't vote for that, they were like, oh, this sounds very similar to La La Land, so we're not going to give that score. But, they applaud originality when they want to, but then they go totally unoriginal and just nominate Top Gun for everything. So it's like, what are they really going for? But I don't know.
The only other shout out I want to give is I said Water for Elephants. That's a whole nother movie. I meant to say The Elephant Whisperers. Shout out to The Elephant Whisperers.
Water for Elephants. That's what Robert Pattinson in the mud.
Yeah, my bad. I'm thinking of the Batman.
Yeah, right. Just real quick in the chat, just a couple more comments before we get out of here. JG from Space said, Jamie Lee Curtis was the 4th best performance in the film. Yeah, literally, like when you just talk about the film in and of itself. Danielle Fish Flicks review says Danielle Detweiler was robbed of a nomination. Facts. That too for Till. And that's why, again, when we hear that conversation of like they should make a white Till. Like what? That's what they're saying behind the scenes though. Patrick Gunn says Janelle Monáe, Lashana Lynch, Deso Beto, Jesse Buckley, Claire Foy, Rachel. So many great work this year. Oh, we're talking about other lead actress
performance. Lashana Lynch is she was great in Woman King.
You're right.
She was amazing in Woman King, low key. Like I think I told you, I think she stole the movie. I was like, damn, Lashana, holy shit. She's amazing for sure.
Yeah, and she was great. I mean, and then Tony followed it up great with Keke Palmer as well from Nope. Like
dude,
that.
Nope should have got like so many nominations. Like it's ridiculous. Like Nope should have won sound in my opinion. I thought that was just one of the craziest sound designs I've heard in any film.
Yeah,
and it didn't even get nominated.
All right.
Shout out Nope, man. That movie killed me.
Yeah, Nope, that's crazy. It definitely should have been there, especially in a lot of those technical categories. Philosopher King, real quick, he said, I remember the same anonymous people were saying that Chadwick Boseman was going to lose to Anthony Hopkins last year. They always get y'all ready for when they're about to stab the knife into POCs. Yeah, and they did. That's literally what happened. And it wasn't that sad. Like that, they had the whole Chadwick. They had the best actor. They saved that to the very, very end. That 1 year, as if they were like pitching it up to make that. Shout out my boy Jesse Collins produced that show that year. It wasn't a good look. For that. RB3 would have slapped Chris McQuarrie. I love Chris McQuarrie as a writer. I know we're not supposed to talk about that one movie from the director that we're not supposed to like and the actor we're not supposed to like. The Usual Suspects I'm talking about. I actually love The Usual Suspects, and I've always told you Top Gun, the Mission Impossibles are my favorite franchise. So I'm never gonna talk crap about Chris McQuarrie. I even said it in my Top Gun review. The dialogue was really well done. It's not the dialogue; it's just the story that's the problem. They gave animated shorts to the weakest one too. Yeah, I thought Year of Dicks was gonna get it. Peeped that one out on FX. Shout out Hulu. No Year of Dicks. Everything Everywhere winning all the awards made it better, said Patrick Gunn. Happy to see that film win. Aisha said Nope for sound and cinematography. Yes, and score.
You got me. I was about to say score.
Yeah.
And screenplay. Fuck it.
Yeah, and screenplay. Definitely original screenplay. I'm glad to see Everything Everywhere win original screenplay. I do think Banshees was a good screenplay too. You know what I mean? Even though it was like not a movie that I really
thought that was going to win.
Yeah, I thought that was going to win. Yeah, I thought that was going to win. Seeing that movie completely shut out was different. Note to cinematography though, I literally didn't see it. Even the cinematography awards that were up there, they weren't even as good. I think even Roger Deakins said in an interview.
I was about to say
you got it.
No, say it.
No, Roger Deakins said in an interview recently that the Batman was the best cinematography of the year, and it wasn't even nominated. So it's like
And he's so right. Everything he said about his reasoning, he's like, this is Hollywood snobbery. They still don't like superhero movies. They think it's corny. They think it's cheesy. No matter what other side awards they give it to. And I told you this when we did our Oscar prediction. I said it. It's so true, man. Like, no matter how good it is, they'll still look at it with a side eye. And then people always say, well, what about Black Panther? And it's like, bro, that's like a one-time thing. And even then, it was freaking, people were piling on it. So I feel like, yes, film should be film, even if it's John Wick or if it's women talking. Like, film is film, man. Like, don't think about like, well, that's an action movie where guns are shooting at heads. It's like, who cares? If it's beautiful, it's beautiful.
Right.
That's it, bro.
Right.
Wow.
Especially, I think something like both the Batman and reinvented the genre in terms of the cinematography, right? Like in terms of the Batman,
and sound. Both of them had incredible sound.
Oh yeah, sound too. Yeah. They literally just invented like a brand new camera system. Like they invented brand new ways to shoot movies. Like that's dope. And they didn't even mention that. So yeah, that sucks to see that and I get that. But just going on to the rest of these comments real quick. Joseph Ashley, Angela Bassett got the same treatment. Eddie Murphy got when he won all those awards again for Dreamgirls that year. He won a lot of the awards leading up to the Oscars, but he didn't win the actual Oscar that year itself. Fool's Pajamas says every year the Academy absolutely disrespects the best visual effects winners. Yeah, they always play them off. I think back to when Life of Pi won Best Visual Effects and they played off those people who gave that speech. And then within weeks after they won the Oscar, that visual effects company was out of business. So they literally cut off the visual effects winners, and within weeks they were out of jobs. So that's really tough, Academy. Come on now. Yeah, they gave them what felt like 30 seconds before playing them off, but while they were trying to thank their families. AJ Lancaster said Nope is the biggest snub overall. Joseph Ashley said, will we ever going to see a Black director win Best Director or just screenplay and adapted screenplay? Great question. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I think we are eventually, but it's going to be a long time. Patrick Gunn, Ice Merchants is fantastic, beautiful short if you haven't seen it. Aisha said the Batman didn't win anything. Shake my head, one of the best films of the year. Somebody said ignorance talking here. Hey, we ignorant over here. Kevin Davis said Little Mermaid going to make money. Here's what. Okay. One more hot take for me personally.
Okay. All right. I was about to close this up. Yeah. I'm about to wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up. They could cut if they don't cut something. Don't cut speeches. Don't cut segments. Cut the commercials. Why do we have to see a Disney studio commercial, a Warner Brothers studio commercial, like them advertising like, oh, we're the studios and we're doing great things, and they're showing.
That's not the thing they're ever going to cut, though, right?
But that's
what gets them the money.
Well, I'm not even talking about the commercials. I'm talking about the actual segments during these.
Oh, the in-show commercials.
Yeah, like when they had
Academy Museum.
Yeah, well, not even. I don't mind the Academy. I love the Academy Museum. They take the EBT card, so I love it. But then they, I don't like when they do like they had old Morgan Freeman and somebody else go up there like
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is an esteemed organization. We've been there for a minute. They did the same thing with the Disney, like they did the Little Mermaid commercial. Y'all don't need that. Don't do that. Like that's what's hogging the time.
If you're gonna do that, do it during the actual commercials.
Yes.
Play the Little Mermaid trailer during the actual commercials.
Yeah.
And not during the show. Same with the Warner Brothers one. If you want to do a Warner Brothers commercial, do it during the commercials.
Yes.
Instead of getting like a Nike commercial or whatever. So
right.
I agree.
All right. That's all I got.
100%. There's a lot of ways to save time, and I don't care if people are like, no, that's not true. Yes, there is. There's plenty. I can write the copy like this big, and it could just be just as effective, and it'll save you like 45 seconds for speeches. So there are ways. Oh, well. Either way, guys, thank you for joining us for the Oscar live stream. These were our unfiltered thoughts, as you can see. Let us know in the comments down below what you think was the biggest snub, what movie you think should have been nominated or should have won, all that good stuff in the comments down below. You could follow me at Squad Leader Ace RB3. You could follow him at Director RB3. And you could stream his short film, Timestamp, on Amazon.
Should have been Oscar nominated, but one of these years.
Should have been Oscar nominated short film, Timestamp on Amazon as well. But either way, guys, you can find us at First Cut TMO on social media, First Cut TMO on TikTok, and First Cut right here on YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't done so already. But either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, we're going to be peacing out. So deuces.
Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
Black actors matter. I don't know why I said that.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath. You do the math, take you out the equation. This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half.